If I had $1 for every time somebody told me the bloodline is getting stale, I'm so tired of this. I don't want to listen to them anymore. Why aren't we done with this? Why is this still happening? I don't like the bloodline. I don't want them. I don't know how much money I'd have, but I'd have a lot of money. If you don't know who I am, I live stream for kind of a living, and people just chat stuff at me and they tell me things while I watch wrestling live. And one of the things, it's just the bloodline is stale. I've been hearing it for over a year and a half, 2 years, and we had a really good conversation. And so I want to put that into words. And I'm going to clap at you, so I'm sorry. I don't understand how you could say the bloodline is getting stale or it's been stale. It doesn't make sense to me. I could maybe understand if it had been the same 3 people for 2 years. I would be on board with you. I'd be there, dog. I'd be there with you. I'd be there with you if every member of the bloodline was the same still and they had held the same titles and nothing else happened and they were on the same show and feuded with the same people. Like, I'd be with you, dog. Like, I'd feel you. And I'm not even gonna look up facts. We're just gonna shoot here. We started off when all of this tribal chief stuff happened, when the bloodline happened. Okay, it was Roman Reigns, it was Jimmy and Jey Uso, and we had Paul Heyman. Okay, cool. We had them for a long time. Got it. I don't remember the amount of time it was before Sami Zayn got introduced, but even still, okay. That was when the discord really started happening. So there's evolution number 1. Evolution number 1, where something is changing within the bloodline. When you actually think about the role reversal, it's actually kind of cool because at that time, that's when the whole Uzi craze happened, right? Jey was not about Sami Zayn being a part of the bloodline. Jey wasn't with it at all. Jimmy was a lot more aloof and kind of fine with it and thinking things were funny. Jey was the one that was pissed off. And then the internal struggle between all of those different members where you didn't know who was going to turn on who, and Sami really started seeing the issues that were going on within the bloodline. And then when he finally turned on Roman, that was stale. That was stale. Okay. Because then that carried into Jey Uso's struggle of being within the bloodline. It was the turmoil between Jimmy and Jey, where Jimmy eventually intervenes and says that it's for the sake of, protecting his brother, whatever bullshit it was. I completely forgot to mention Solo Sikoa, but regardless, Roman had a few different feuds, a few different matches. The response to him was pretty much always the same. He had people that were acknowledging him, people that weren't acknowledging him. I feel like he just continued to rise and rise in power. Had some SummerSlam matches. That's when Jimmy did his whole thing. Went to WrestleMania. The tribal chief retained against Cody. All of that. And then The Rock. The Rock comes back a couple times. The first time I didn't really, was kind of like, okay. And it's on the road to WrestleMania. If you just saw the documentary, you know that all of that happened. And he teased, do I sit at the head of the table? And then that's when all hell broke loose because of Cody. And we know the story. We know what happened. But again, there's more of interesting things that are being involved when it comes to the bloodline. Different things happening. The Rock, okay, well, now we have that extra layer. Oh, that's what's gonna happen? Why is he doing this? Is he not acknowledging the bloodline? He has his thumb out. We're over analyzing literally everything. And even then, still had people saying, oh, the bloodline is stale, the bloodline is stale. The entire road to WrestleMania, people are saying that the bloodline is stale. It's like, well, we didn't know what The Rock was gonna do. We didn't know if The Rock was actually gonna face Roman Reigns. We had that awesome thing that happened in Las Vegas where they had the showdown at like the kickoff show when, Cody slapped The Rock. This was fucking cool. That was stale. Okay. We got to have them wrestle 2 nights. 2 nights. We got the tag match with Cody and Seth and Roman and Rock, and then we got the main event that had stipulations as far as bloodline rules goes when it comes to the main event on night 2. That's stale. That was stale. Roman actually lost the title, so there goes, the tribal chief and riding off into the sunset for now. And then you would think, okay, bloodline story, staleness is over. We're wrapping up, we're evolving. No, that's not what happened because Roman Reigns went away and then we were left with the bloodline that was still there. And Solo Sikoa decides, oh, well, I'm top dog now. Like, I'm the tribal chief. And we've seen that evolution. That's where I get hung up right now, where I have people currently saying the bloodline is stale. They need to move on. They need to carry on. And something different has happened with the bloodline every month, every other week. We're introducing someone new, or there's rumors of someone new, or that WWE has signed someone new that could be involved with the bloodline, and yet we're still like, oh, stale, stupid, I don't like it. We have the impending return of not only Roman Reigns, but The Rock at some point. You've got Solo Sikoa wearing shoes. You've got him introducing 3 other Samoan, Tongan, whoever else. Oh, never mind. We're also waiting for Jimmy Uso's return and whether he's going to actually side with the new bloodline or whether he's going to go after his brother Jay. There's that impending reunion when it comes to the bloodline. But yet, okay, it's stale. What? You have Jacob freaking Fatu, who y'all tore me apart because I didn't know a whole lot about him, but now I'm learning and I know, and he's great and he's amazing. And then you have you're talking about auras. We just made a whole video about that, talking about auras and how Solo doesn't have aura, but Jacob has aura. And it's like, what are we satisfied with? Nothing. I'm getting sweaty. Like, you're so impatient. You're so very impatient. I feel like we have been evolving. We've been introducing new things. There's so many layers to this story. But it's almost like just the fact that the bloodline exists at this point, there are people that are like, oh, just because it's a thing, like, hate it. Bye. Like, what would make you happy? What would make you happy? Really? Because it's honestly kind of fun to talk about and think about what could happen moving forward. Are we going to get, the bloodline civil war, kind of ordeal? Are we going to get, people are talking about a bloodline war games? Are we going to introduce any females? Like who's going to split on who? Who's going to turn on who? Are the original new bloodline going to, jump ship when Roman comes back and be part of, who's going to be the good guys? Who's going to be the bad guys? It's fun. But no, the bloodline did the same thing 3 weeks in a row because they put Randy through the announce table and then they put Cody Rhodes through the announce table. And why'd we do the same thing 2 weeks in a row? Well, I don't know shit about fuck, but I do kind of have some brains and things that I could think of. And what makes sense to me is you have an entire new half of the bloodline that we're still getting to know. So again, how the fuck stale? New members of the bloodline that we're getting to know. And they are trying to let us know they are not to be messed with. They are powerful. They are a force. So yes, makes complete sense to me that 1 week we're going to put Randy through a table. Oh no, Randy Orton could not fight them off, even with the help of other people. Yikes. Week 2 on SmackDown, same thing. Did it to the WWE champion, Cody Rhodes. Same thing. Didn't matter that he had help from KO. They put him through the table. That sends a message. That makes a statement without any help or without any guidance from someone like Paul Heyman or without solid leadership. I can't believe I'm saying that. Without Roman Reigns, I cannot believe I'm saying that. Yeah, they're a force to be reckoned with, and they're letting you know, don't F with us. So that lets you know, because they are that powerful, it's gonna take something big and it's gonna take something really, really out of left field to take them down. What's that gonna be? Is that gonna be Roman Reigns showing up and showing them who's boss? Is it going to be, the Avengers assemble of the greatest WWE former champions and champions to take them out, like Cody Rhodes and, Randy Orton? Do they all have to, band together? Like, none of that upsets me. But I see other people being upset and I'm like, okay, well, I'm more upset that Grayson Waller and Austin Theory haven't broken up yet. That's my biggest gripe within the WWE right now, is I just want that bum ass Waller to, kick Theory to the curb so Theory can go do other cool stuff. Because I'm also holding out hope for within all of this somehow, it might not be now, it might be a little bit later, but Randy Orton hitting an RKO on Cody Rhodes. Retribution for what? I don't really know. For not helping him that 1 week that he got put through the table. I don't really know. I just want to see Randy Orton, watch the world burn. I feel like my purpose here is just to kind of maybe, I don't know, show you a little different perspective of someone that kind of stays off of a lot of negative based things. I'm a consumer, I'm not an analyst. I'm a consumer. I'm not in the wrestling business. I am not going to have a podcast where I talk about the shoulda, coulda, wouldas or what I think would work better, because I'm not a booker and I'm not a wrestler. It's not my jam, but I can tell you what I think about what I'm seeing and if I like it and if I don't like it and if it makes sense to me. And I think that all makes perfect sense to me. Like analysis, Solo Sokoa is the tribal chief now because he wears shoes. He has aura because he wears shoes. He has big shoe energy. Do you think the Bloodline is stale? Have you not enjoyed the ride that the Bloodline has taken you on? Or are you just tired of the Bloodline in general? Let me know. I really would like to know what you think, but it baffles me.